Pod. Today we are getting to hear from Dr. Tom Habib about Icon 2026. And with no less ado or much ado, let's turn over to Tom. Woo!
Thank you. So a little bit, it feels like I'm preaching to the choir, knowing that every one of you have contributed different things through the time. So here is our 2026 icon, close to coherence, integral's role in building a post-tragic future. You can see it's 128 days, and this countdown always gives me anxiety when I look at it. Thinking of everything that needs to get done. But it's going to take place in the Denver area. It's going to be right outside of Denver. And one of the title that we actually settled on, Closer to Coherence, I want to talk a bit about, why we're doing that. And some of you were in on the discussions around that, both in Slack and in person. And what I want to show you is this slide comes out of one of my presentations. We're all familiar with those moments, state experience, where the resonance shows up and we can feel that subtle energy unfolding. But many times it's missed or it's not picked up by the person or persons we're in dialogue. If it is, then it reaches the level of coherence. So more and more I'm seeing in integral communities where people are arriving who have the capability to, one, recognize the subtle state experience, but also to sustain it a little bit longer and add to it. So they end up making a a horizontal comment rather than a vertical that changes the subject. And as a community, we're getting closer and closer to be able to do that. When we actually have a collective space, it's a we space, and we can really sustain that for quite a while. And from years ago, anyone ever at the Integral Theory Conference up in the Bay Area? I remember how academic it was. They weren't even emphasizing the embodied work like Integral Leadership Action did in Boulder last year, or some of the things that Bensei has done in Europe. And the field is moving rather than just talking about the map to really try to embody that map. And that's where a lot of what we're doing is coming out of. So if I can find it, I wanted to show you the next one. And let me see. Oh yeah, this one. Can you see this one? Oops,
Not yet.
not yet. So I got to go back here. Such a boomer. I can't do this stuff. Oh, it's not there. It should be coming. Okay, if I leave it on here. Oops. Sorry about that. All right, how do I get the bigger screen back?
So we're looking at your desktop right now, and it's a beautiful photo. I'm guessing it's your daughter's wedding.
Really, that's showing up?
It is gorgeous. The flowers.
There
Can
you
Okay,
you
there
see
go.
we
this?
go. We can see a video now.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is a video that Shara just finished. I got it literally as I was logging on today. And in the middle is Christopher Lally up in Canada. On the right, you all recognize Layman Pascal. Some of you in the lower right recognize George Tucker. In the middle bottom is Jill Thomas and Shara, who's with us today. And what we did in the fall of 2024, at Jill's suggestion, is we convened a co-creation committee, and Jill and I handpicked all these people to join us because we're feeling into 2026 and 2028 and coming up with what did we want to achieve. This is a video that we're going to post in the next couple of days and draw little snippets out of also. What I loved about it, and I'd be interested in hearing your feedback too, Roshana. I think it developed the feeling, the resident feeling between us, even doing the video, where we're recalling what it was like to work on the committee together. And initially, I had to ask these people, we got to meet weekly for 12 weeks, every Sunday morning at 9. And they're like, yeah. But once we got going, we felt that space working together. Um, it was enormous. And what surprised me, and the video will show it, the oscillation between coming into the container, co-creating and feeling into different aspects of the conference, and then pulling back in our individuality. It was relatively quick. It was about every 3 minutes, uh, which was enormous. I didn't expect it to be that quick. But we actually ended up producing a 17-page document that we're using to really model everything we're doing. So feel free to jump in if you want to make a comment, or have something uh, explained a little bit better. So intersubjectivity is really the main theme of the conference, in addition to preparing for the post-tragic future. Because some people were saying that, do we really just want to do feel good while there's regression in the reality of the world? Or are we going to talk about this post-tragic future? Are we going to talk about that we're in the middle of the tragedy now, is chaos runs supreme? Or we need to represent that. And so that's how we came up with the byline. But the third focus is going to be psychedelics and artificial intelligence. And one of the guiding metaphors we're using is artificial intelligence is the mirror, psychedelics is the doorway, and integral theory is the Rosetta Stone. And even though some people have been critiquing this, do you need to use psychedelics to grow? Of course not. But integral theory is the Rosetta Stone. What that comes out of is a sense of, where is there another theory, theology, philosophy that is developmentally attuned and capable of drawing from all the traditions that can really aid every one of these areas, whether it's psychedelics, whether it's artificial intelligence, politics. Integral really has a role to play to re-enchant all these areas and to bring the sacred back into them. And that's the idea of integral being the Rosetta Stone, that we worked on. So, what else? The committee works. They've been wonderful. There's a lot more people. Bet remembers when we were scrambling in 2024, and Karen does too, just to pull off this conference. But this time we've had more time to feel into it and do it with a bunch of committee works. And one of the themes we're saying there is that the conference has already begun for us, meaning we're already using that intersubjective space, not just in the co-creation committee, but now in every other one of the committees. to really try to feel into how do we create this state experience when we're all in Denver. So let me look real quick, see if there's anything else I wanted to share. I showed, oh yeah, exciting new speakers. And you can't see the screen yet. I am part of infinity.
Not yet.
Nope. Now you should be able to.
Yes.
So this is Kieran Fox, PhD, MD. I always wonder about people that get two advanced degrees like that. Brilliant young mind. And I've seen some of his podcasts. My wife showed me this book she read. She thought it was extraordinary. And it's looking at how did Einstein use the metaphysics available of the day to come up with, relativity and the beginning of quantum theory. And unlike other people, he didn't blink. He kind of honored the metaphysics as a source of creativity, as he proved mathematically a lot of these issues he came up with. So I really like it. Kieran is honoring his work and talking about it. And you got to remember, this is like 1905, 1910, and he had the guts to step out that far and to really recognize how this happens. So he's representative of some of the new speakers we're trying to attract to the conference. So, in a nutshell, that is where we're headed. We're collecting applications. If any of you want to speak, the deadline's the end of the month. So you got to get your application in. And there's a preamble to the application process that summarizes a lot of what I just said in terms of themes and whatnot. How is it sounding?
Very exciting. Very exciting. Are there any other speakers that you can share with us?
Yeah, we Roger Walsh. I love Roger. He's always Ken Wilber's already confirmed. Do you remember John Churchill last time? He was
Oh,
def
yes.
I thought he was one of the best keynotes. Got to have layman Pascal there. To me, he's one of the most humble synthetic thinkers we have in the field. Extraordinary what the man knows. Uh, how many of you know Saeed Dalabani from more of the Graves community? He's definitely coming. He has a new book out that is wonderful. Have you read it, Karen? Second
No,
Sapiens?
I have not read his second book. I looked at his first book. Yeah.
Yeah, Second Sapiens is quite good. What he ground out. And one of the things we're doing is Wilbur and Don Beck created a huge fissure in these communities. And Saeed and I are saying, we're not interested in that fight. We have so much more in common. So I'm going to be meeting with Saeed shortly to see what more we can do to bridge the communities. Because I do think we need to honor what Claire Graves and that community contributed. Um, I think integral spiral dynamics is fine, but that could have been handled a little bit better so as not to have decades of arguments.
All right, well, tell us more things. Like when does it start? When does it end? Because a lot of us are trying to do logistics.
So it's going to start May 28th, which is a Thursday. I'm probably going to get there the Wednesday or the Tuesday. And then it'll end the 31st, the Sunday. Pretty much it's going to be like that. At this point, we're going to have, keynotes in the morning. and then 4 presentations simultaneously in the afternoon. The hotel is the Delta Hotel in, I have to look at the website. I forget the name of the town, just outside of Denver. And part of the reason I picked it is we can hold up to 1,000 people. So if we get close to that number, I'm probably going to add speakers in rooms. So right now I'm waiting for them to all come in. There'll be some people on a waiting list to do it and come in. So one of the little changes is going to be keynotes are going to be 25 minutes, 23-minute presentation, 2-minute introduction. We're following the European model so I can get more of the keynote people in there to do short, quick presentations. The other thing we're going to retain from 24 is more air in the conference so that, because we recognize the discussions between people are crucial. That's where the mycelial network functions, because you're making plans, you're opening up avenues, you're bringing it to your home turf. And we really want to honor that by allowing enough air in the conference so people can connect and talk.
And then what about the breakout sessions? How's that going to work?
Yeah, we're going to ask people, to do breakouts in every session. Because again, it's people connecting with each other. Remember somebody at IEC said, yeah, it's not what happens on stage. Occasionally something interesting. It's everything that happens, in the connections and in the social hours. And boy, that is true. That's where I've made all my connections through the years is in the social hours and the breakouts. It's just amazing what forms up.
All right. So is that officially the end of your presentation, Tom?
I think so.
Okay. Let's open it up for questions. Don't be shy, everyone. I've been asking a lot already, so go ahead. Who else wants to ask a question? Oh, this isn't really a question. It's a beautiful memory. I met Tom at the What Now conference in Denver over New Year's 2017, 2018. And boy, what a fruitful connection that's been. And I remember the night we arrived and I checked into my room and I went down to the lounge and just sat down to see who I'd meet and what would happen. And one of the first people I met was Tom. And we had this wonderful conversation, and we have just been intersecting in all sorts of creative ways ever since. That's where the magic is for me. The presentations are necessary. They're the scaffold, they're the skeleton, and they produce all sorts of wonderful things too. But the magic is in the connections that happen around the presentation. Mm.
God, it's been that many years, Karen. It's
Yep.
incredible.
And we have a new person, Mark, welcome. We're just doing Q&A right now about Icon 2026. So if you have any questions, all right, who's next? Who has more comments or thoughts?
One of the things we talked about can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. At the last conference was like taking a day trip or a half a day trip and going to a park or going somewhere together. Is that being talked about?
Not yet, but the beauty is right next to the hotel is a park with
Oh, nice.
water and a bridge, and
Oh,
that's one of
nice.
the things I tried to do is get a little bit
Nice.
more nature. So if you feel the need to break away and connect with people, get out of the hotel, that's the upgrade we got.
Nice. That's nice.
It's always kind of dicey organizing these things because you don't want it so expensive you're shutting people out constantly.
Right.
But it's got to be so. It's definitely an upgrade, and it's only
Mm.
$10 more a night. for the hotel.
Wow.
Mm, mm,
So, but I mean,
okay,
I looked
cool.
at about 10 different hotels.
Mhm. You might
Is there going to
share
be
what,
a,
oh,
go ahead.
well, you might share what you were telling me about the schedule because people are starting to look at flights and all of that. So it starts Thursday evening, you think, like 7-ish or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's a little earlier than that. Thursday
Okay.
evening, I think will be about maybe 2 or 3-ish.
Oh, okay.
So if you get there Thursday morning or Wednesday, it would
Mm,
be better
okay.
because it is a little bit of a commute. Why they put that
Oh,
airport
okay.
so far out in Denver
Oh,
is
okay.
beyond me.
All right.
But it's
And
only like
then
25 minutes.
and then on Sunday, you were thinking like 1 o'clock or something, I think.
Yeah, we'll have lunch together and then that'll be the end.
Okay. Okay.
So other people, I see Mark's here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, do you want to share, Mark, what the committee you're working on and what you're doing?
Sure. Good evening, all. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so the Networking Collaboration Committee has a list of who we think is the communities with which we want to have a relationship. Some folks have actually said, okay, this is the community I'm going to relate to. We have a sort of draft of how do we communicate with them, but we really haven't. We certainly don't have every slot filled in terms of who's going to connect with whom. I have started to engage we have a site on ILiA. You should have all gotten an invitation to join. I don't know whether some of you I think are on there, but as a place in which we can be having a conversation about the themes. The website has these 5 themes that are a part of our conference, and what I want to do is try to nurture a conversation about each of those 5 themes, just to sort of be building interest and engagement.
Good.
Is there
What is
going to be
high
a
high
dance?
low?
Sorry.
Hilo is a kind of like Facebook, sort of, in terms of you can start a conversation and people can respond to it, so it's sort of nested, although it's not as wide open as Facebook, and you can actually have separate conversations going on simultaneously. So if there's a particular space you can go to. I want to be a part of this conversation. And you click on that, and you get to set up what notifications you want. So anything that's happening in the intersubjectivity conversation, I want to know about it. So I'll get an email. So you can set it up so that you're engaged in the way that or anybody can be engaged in the way they want to be.
Right. And one of our partners is Cosmos Co-op, who just recently signed on. And Karen, you're part of that, right?
Yes, very much. Yes. Yes.
Is
Cosmos Cooperative is a creative cooperative spearheaded by, oh gosh, names, it's late in the day. Um,
Marco.
yeah, Marco Morelli, who was one of the 4 co-authors of Integral Life Program, practice.
Mm-hmm.
He's a genius. He's a creative, but he's an organizational genius, and he's created a structure where we really support each other. So they have undergone a major expansion recently, restructuring, reorganizing, because they've grown by a factor of 10, and they're starting to cycle some real serious donor money through. And they are sponsoring, they have offered to sponsor I believe, the first night entertainment. And so we're going to be meeting and deciding, yes, I want to do a kind of, yeah, a sort of a nightclubby thing, but meet and greet. I'm advocating for something that will encourage people to meet, mingle, get to know each other. And they are financially sponsoring that
Fantastic.
evening.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're going to have a
Cool.
presence in other ways too. I think Marco's going to be applying to be one of the keynote speakers. That would be really appropriate. He
Good.
was a really big part of Wilbur World back in the early aughts. So he has
Mm.
serious integral cred, and And they're going to be one of the vendors present. They have their own in-house imprint book publisher and magazine. I have a couple published articles with them now. Woohoo.
Mhm.
But they're going to have some of their books there for sale, so they'll be represented among the vendors. So they're going to be a major presence and major supporter.
Cool.
And the beauty is they're local. So I think they're
Yes,
bringing in like musicians and artists
yes,
too. So
yes.
they know that community, and that's just wonderful to have it right there.
Because they have a
Mm.
local hub. They're used to once a month. They do like it's kind of like a local nightclub that meets once a month. So they've got the tech, they've got the people, they know how to put on shows. So we'll see what they can come up with to entertain us.
That's awesome. Mhm.
Um, so Tiffany ran the volunteers last time. Anything new to
Yeah.
share there, Tiffany?
No, not yet. I mean, I think it's, last time it was a pretty, uh, there was a lot going on. There was a lot of moving parts. There was all the recording, live streaming happening, and then just getting everybody set up with their tech and keeping things rolling, like in those, shorter presentations. I know that was, it's you go into the shorter presentation and then people tend to want to talk, and just keeping things kind of flowing through, but also the curation of the schedule and the space. And I think that we've been doing a lot since, like, my first volunteer experience with Integral Conference was also in 2017, and
Ah,
that's where I've got really interconnected with the group. And then I'm happy to see things evolving. It's not like it's
yeah,
stuck in this structure or way. Like, the amount of time and intention and consideration that continues to go into these events and these gatherings, I think, is really admirable. I know it's a lot of work, but it also creates more space for more people. And the volunteers that we had last time, Larry being one of them, we were able to, like, it was a great introduction. There was at least, several of the volunteers who entered into the community as in service.
mm,
And I think that really kind of gives people a neat way to tap in and kind of like get to know the community and the flow of things, as newer folks entering in. So I'm excited about who's gonna want to come back this year, who might be new this year, and just creating a lot of space for engagement, because that's also, I think, people want to be engaged, they want to be
yeah,
connecting, they want to have a part. And I think the more that gets created, the more people feel a sense of deep participation and connection to what we're doing in that embodied way, that we're talking about. So yeah, I'm always excited to have people get together and I want to get more informed. There's, you guys, like I said, have been sharing the videos and all that. So just a lot of information, and we see what comes of it. But I think just meeting people's needs, that's always, it's like looking around to see who, make sure everybody knows where they're going, and, can find what they need when they're in that conference time. Also very, important to keeping it connected. And
Yeah.
last
Tiffany, I
time,
want to say I volunteered for, I think, 12 integral conferences, and the Icon conference that you led, the volunteers, you guys were like invisible, and I mean that in a really good way. You weren't
yeah,
just in front of everybody or anything, but everything went so smoothly. And then when I
yeah,
finally saw who the volunteers were at the very end, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was a volunteer, that was a volunteer, and it was
yeah.
just, everything was so seamless. It was so nicely done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could never do what you do, Tiffany. Yeah, I'm a very different personality, but I remember being sort of a halftime volunteer at 24, and it was fun. It was alive. It was fun. I was
Yeah.
doing it for the joy of it. And I know, and I know, I mean, those of us who were in on the know how close that conference came to not happening, how
Mm.
barely we cobbled it together. But then when it happened and it was flowing, it was happening and it was ebullient, it was joyous. In fact, I had one kind of business type, who I forget his name now. He was kind of out, a little from the outside. He took me aside and asked me, "So who's making the money off this conference?" Just about guffawed, you know. I
That's
Unbelievable.
mean,
funny.
that's how smoothly it came off when it
I
actually happened.
I want to talk about how Tiffany saved me because there was some update to Zoom, remember? And I was trying to share my slide, and I'd never met Tiffany a day in my life before. And she like really saved me. Actually, we did meet at the previous what's the future conference. I didn't know that at that moment, but she saved me that day, and all the technical things her team was doing, it was really amazing. So yeah, hopefully more people will sign up to be volunteers because they're awesome.
Yeah.
So speaking of the technical aspect, Tom, what's the live stream and what the video recording? What's going on with that piece?
So it will be live streamed, and like last time, they'll get the keynotes and then they can pick what room they want to go in. The AV costs really increased like
Mm.
40%. It's a big budgetary item this time.
Wow.
And somebody mentioned making money. And, um, everyone volunteers here. But what I'm trying to do is have enough of an endowment so that when I'm done spearheading this, that somebody can step in and not have to take the financial risk to do this.
Right.
So I remember about 6, 7 months ago when I got the hotel down, and you got to guarantee, we have to guarantee 150 room nights plus, I think it's 25,000 in food or maybe more.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Then
wow.
AV is about 28,000. It's funny, it's going to be well over 80,000.
Mhm.
I had to personally guarantee. So I'm
Yeah.
showing my wife all the figures, the money that came last time. And Christine goes to me, it's okay, Tom. If you lose a lot of money, you can sell your new Corvette. The amount of
There you
work I've got out of that comment.
go.
Uh, so,
Proper motivation.
yeah,
Uh,
right. But that's what I'm trying to do is get enough of an endowment built up, uh, probably 100,000 at least,
okay.
so that the next time, if I want to step back, people can do this and keep it going,
Right.
and then
Right.
I'll personally take it on. So there's been people I can't tell you that have stepped up financially and helped and made
Mm,
incredible donations, and
wow.
more is coming. I always love the anonymous ones, because they get
Wow.
what we're doing and whatnot. Actually, we were just approved by both SoupTech and Google for to be uh, um, an organization that gets significant donations. The Google alone donations 10,000 a month in advertising a month.
What?
So what we're hoping for is that we can actually appeal to the proto-integral people and get them at the conference. Because I'm convinced once they feel the experience, they'll start going, what was that? And start languaging and learning it. So that's the difference. We're leading with state, and then the intellect can come later. Um, so there's so many good things like that coming on board. We have a company in India that's doing all the uh, postings and everything. If you see a video, please give us a thumbs up. And Abdullah is back on board from Pakistan. Um, but there's so many people behind the scenes. It's the Integral Conference of North America. Some of our key people are from Canada. And again, it was at IEC. Both Shar and I, when we were in Europe, we were on icon reconnaissance. We called it icon reconnaissance. And what we're trying to do is meet people either for speakers or organizationally. And it's funny, Clear Skies in Canada were on my list to meet. You know, when I read about them, I'm going, whoa, this is a good group. And I was on their list. So it's amazing how that stuff just comes together. And I remember meeting the leader of that group, and we talked. And I said, we need to talk. She goes, yep, we do. And they have been some of our, it's amazing what they're doing, the people, the Canadian people that are on board working with them. So,
Nice.
so many people coming together.
Nice.
This is very
Yeah.
exciting.
hmm
So, what other questions do we have? Comments, thoughts, memories from last time? Last time we did improv. A lot of folks were there. We did a music jam. A lot of folks joined in. Roshana plays the flute, right? The flute.
Nice.
I'm not good at
hmm
wind. By the way, I do have a big announcement. I now have my cello has been
That's awesome.
upgraded. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That's a bass. I know it's
Yes.
it's the back end of a bass, but yeah, so I've upgraded and now I'm playing the bass. So
Wow.
yeah.
I don't suppose you'll be bringing that on the plane.
No, I mean I didn't bring
Oh,
that cello. Thanks to Tom, he rented me that cello I played. That was
Oh,
a
nice.
$30,000 cello that we
Oh
whoa.
rented
my
for
God.
$100 total for 2 days.
Amazing.
Wow.
Awesome.
Nice.
So I
Renting
have a
Nice.
is a
quest.
good deal. Yeah.
So I have a question. Is there going to be a dance?
Oh,
I would hope
yes.
so.
I
Do
hope
we
so
have a
too.
DJ? Do we have a DJ?
Yeah, I think we're going to get a DJ again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really in it for the partying, to tell the truth.
I mean, we're talking about state change, right? And when
Yeah,
we're saying state change is not the change of the slide.
right.
If we're going to be embodied, let's be embodied.
hmm
That New Year's Eve dance at What Now conference in 2017, 2018. That was the best dance I've ever been to.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, any final thoughts, comments? If people are watching this, trying to figure out if they want to join, any like plugs. Last Icon 2024 was so fun. It was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the hallway conversations are definitely the highlight.
So we got to sell
I would love
tickets. So
I
if
would love for you to do another improv bet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would love to. I would love to. Maybe Tom
that
will
was fun.
fit me
That
in on
was
the
super fun.
schedule.
so
That
help
Yeah.
me
was
sell
super fun.
tickets.
Mhm.
If you
Let's
can,
all tell our friends, everyone.
yep. And you get it right at weareicon.org.
I'll put it on the screen when I post this video. Yeah, I think it's like the network is so amazing. Everyone is a wonderful person and they're interesting and they're going to be able
Mhm.
to have an interesting conversation with you. And then plus if you can collaborate and do something interesting together, I mean what else is there in this, right? In this life is like making friends and making community.
Hmm.
So it's really wonderful. And the weather should be great in May.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not cold, it shouldn't snow.
right.
Right. It's late May this time.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
So
we're going to
it's-
get decent weather.
I was
yeah.
just looking on Google Maps, the park, it's really nice. It's a big park.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yay.
so
I'm
yeah,
so
so we
happy
can
about that.
go outside and touch grass.
Some embodiment
Yeah.
activities, some
Yeah.
cartwheels, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes,
Me,
yes.
Picnics. picnic on the grass. What about lunch, Tom? Let's talk about, are there any meals included in this
Food is always
event?
a very important
Yes.
conversation here.
Right.
So if you stay at the hotel, breakfast will be included
Okay.
and lunch is going to be included. I haven't negotiated that part of the deal yet.
Mm.
I have an idea of what it's going to cost. But again, that's some of that fixed costs that I've got to figure out and try to get done. So we'll do, I thought the lunch was halfway decent at NBC Suites. I mean,
Hmm.
they were great. It's just at the location of that place.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't hold more than 300. I'm
Ah.
hoping we go well above 300 this time.
Hmm.
So that's why I got a place that's big enough for 1,000.
Nice.
Cool.
Well, I
Yeah.
checked the Google Maps and there's a lot of restaurants also. So
Yep.
afterwards, we can all go
Ah,
out for dinner to different places and walking, like, I mean, really like right across the street. So it's really a great
Mm.
location, Tom. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic.
yeah,
Nice.
it's an upgrade without getting fiscally irresponsible. So maybe in 28, we'll do something even more fancy.
Like,
We
well,
have a
this
big
was
endowment.
an upgrade in price this year too. What was it, 150 more or something like that
Oh, what?
per person
Ticket.
for the
Ticket.
tickets?
Yeah, the price of the tickets went up some.
Yeah, I think it was 150 or something
Yeah,
like that. That was a lot. I
yeah.
was surprised to see that. I just bought my ticket about a week ago or 2 weeks
Oh.
ago. Yeah.
But when you look at IEC, we're way beneath them
Ah, right,
in terms of doing it.
right.
And it's always a debate of where's the point. If somebody really, really wants to come and they can't afford a ticket, like there's a group coming from Brazil, it
Oh,
looks
wow.
like, and one of them is going to speak. She's great. In fact, I think two will. And I did negotiate them a little bit of a deal because, you know, coming up, flying all the way up here and everything.
Mm.
So we can do some of that, but it's always scary at this time.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Any final thoughts, comments?
Thank you, everyone, for your help.
Yeah.
Tiffany, I have to tell you, I'm relieved you're going to be on site. Because
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
usually
sift
what
through the
people are saying
world.
is between Karen playing bodyguard for me and Tiffany organizing all the volunteers, it made my job easier.
Mhm.
I had
So
so much fun being your Valkyrie at Icon 24. I really thought of you of Odin and the other three gals and myself sitting behind you. We were Tom's Valkyries.
yeah, and it just helped when I
Yeah.
needed things, and it was
Yeah.
just great.
Well, I was concerned about you, Tom, putting that together. I mean, you carried so much. And I'm so grateful to you. I mean, if you hadn't been the one to carry all this and pull it together, this would not be happening. So anything we can do to support you, it's gratitude, 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 and appreciation.
I appreciate it. This time has been easier than last time.
Good.
Last time was really tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and hopefully the next time is going to get even easier.
Yeah. Well,
So thank you
you
again
had
for
time.
having me.
You had the time to build the organizational structure this time. What a
Yep,
difference.
Mhm.
yep. And we're talking about next time what we're going to build. Um, so it's coming along. It's great working with people like you.
Mm.
It's just amazing. You
So
can feel the energy developing, and it's just fun. So
Cool.
thank you, Ed, for having me at
Aw,
the
thanks,
support pod.
Tom. We're
Yeah.
always glad to have you, Tom.
Yeah.
And we'd be delighted for you to come back and talk about any of these like hypersensitive people that you are researching and like anything, Tom. We always want you. And by the way, we have a writer support pod and we're looking for speakers for this year. So if you want to come out and share something about, I don't know, something, we're always interested, right? Karen and
Oh,
Rashad.
yeah.
There's always a writing angle on anything, so
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
consider
Thank you.
that.
I will. I will.
All right. Good. All right. Well, everyone, have a great rest of your January. And today's Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I hope everyone went
Mhm.
and did a parade or something. But we'll see you next time. Have a great one. Bye,
Yeah.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye,
Nice seeing
everybody.
you.
See you.